Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram. Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama.
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare,
Hare Krishna. Panchataturvishya kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Shriprabhat ki jai. So, stopping the wonderful chanting, but we will continue with our Srimad Bhagavatam discourse soon. Our speaker Raghunandan Prabhuji has joined also already. So I'll quickly recite the quote for today. It's by Radhesham Das Prabhuji. Lit fire, smoke comes. Don't give up effort. Because all good work requires initiative, tolerate trouble, be detached and focused to eventually bring out perfect result. I'll repeat again. Lit fire, smoke comes. Don't give up effort, because all good work requires initiative, tolerating trouble, be detached and focused to eventually bring out perfect results. By His grace, His divine grace, Radhesham Das Prabhuji, a very senior disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. So we will, I want to know who all are there on the call today. Anybody would like to announce the name?
This is Amritamani Devidasi from Augusta, Georgia.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Madan Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Did you join first time, Mataji?
No. I've been on the call for a long time, but I have some health issues. Sometimes I come, sometimes I don't.
Oh, you're coming as Anu Joshi.
Yes, I have been there since the beginning of this, when this chat started.
Yeah, your voice is familiar to me now, but I was not connecting your name with your voice. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna.
I hope you can join us, more regularly and every day.
Sure, I will. I will try.
Yeah, and thank you for coming and chanting. Very nicely with all of us. It was so nice to. I saw a new name. I said, "Wow, we have a new participant." But thank you once join us for Japa. It starts as 5:20 to 7:20, 5 to 7 like that in the morning.
Yes. Yes,
Mataji. Thank you. Anybody else would like to announce the name?
Hi, this is Vamsi. Good morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My Danat Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Vamsi Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I know Raghunandan Prabhu, so I'm a fan of his classes.
Okay,
Preaches.
You joined first time here?
And maybe this one first time. But I met Raghunandan Prabhu multiple times. So
okay, so our first time means we have to chant 3 times, and we pray that you can join us for other classes also that come in. So everyone chant 3 times from Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Bol.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So please join us more regularly. Prabhuji's class, of course, are very wonderful, but other speakers also we have coming all 7 days a week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And anybody else would like to announce their name?
Hare Krishna, Rupini Padma Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees on this call. This is Premanandini Devidasi from Ashburn, Virginia. And Vamsi Prabhu, are you from do you come to Archana Mataji's
Yeah,
birthday?
yeah, yeah. I'm the
Okay,
same.
okay. All right. Thank you so
Okay.
much for joining, Prabhu. This is the call I was talking
Oh
about.
yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Mandal Pranam to you. Shubhapat ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for joining. So Mataji, you introduced, you're the one who told Vamsi Prabhu to join?
Yeah, I've been asking him to join. I'm
Oh,
glad he joined today because
Yeah, yeah. It's
thank you.
all Krishna's
Also,
blessings. So.
the coincidence that he likes our speaker Raghunandan Das Prabhuji's classes. So, it was a coincidence. Krishna made some arrangement.
Yeah, exactly, Prabhu. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you to Raghunandan Das Prabhuji. If you're here hearing that because of you, more people are joining classes. So, anybody else quickly want to announce? Because I want to hand over the call ASAP to Prabhuji.
Hare
yeah,
Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji's, and I'm Jyoti from Minnesota. Um, I'm another fan of Raghunandan Das Prabhuji. He's also giving classes for Tamil language in another different group.
Hmm.
So he shared this group for me. Thank you so much, and please accept my humble obeisances.
So,
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, my Danal Pranam to you. Shubhapat ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. So, for us, our call, you joined first time.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hari Bol 3 times to Mataji. Hari Bol.
Haribol,
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 Haribol.
Thank
Haribol.
you, Haribol.
Thank you so much.
Haribol,
Like
Haribol.
we have 7 days a call. Please join. Raghunandan Prabhuji also comes, but there are many more speakers also come. So it'll be nice to have you, Jyoti Mataji, right? I see that. Okay. Hare Krishna. Anybody else would like to
Yeah.
announce?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Go ahead. Sorry.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas. This is Radha Seva from Gaithersburg, Maryland. I think Raghunandan Prabhu has his fan club on today because
Hare.
he's also one of my favorite speakers as well.
Oh wow, that's so nice. We are so fortunate to have so many people joining because of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Vandal Pranam to you. Shubhat ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. But Mataji, we were missing your voice and your presence. We haven't heard you for some time.
I was out of the country, Mataji. I just came
Oh,
back Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. And so I think I was no, I missed 2-3 days this week because of work, but no, I'm back in the country now. So I'll be joining regularly.
okay, Mataji. Yeah, I was like thinking I'm missing one Mataji who announces her name and now she's not there. So thank you
No,
for
no,
back.
you're welcome. I was out of the
Back to the
country,
country.
but I'm back. I'm back.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all devotees. This is Malini from Ashburn, Virginia. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Malini Mataji, Madanat Pradam to you, Shiprapat ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you for joining. And I wanted to also tell everyone that yesterday we were not able to have a Bhagavatam class, but Mataji had a wonderful reading for 1 hour. She did on Bhagavatam. We just read the whole chapter. And I was so thankful to Mataji that, we were able to continue our everyday Harinam conference call by reading, by hearing and chanting. So, that makes sense to us in our spiritual life. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna once again.
Thank you to all. Everybody helped me and also everybody participated. Thank you
Yes,
to
Mataji.
everybody.
So much. If anybody else wants to announce the name. Okay, so we it's already started live streaming. So on Everyday Chant, Everyday Harinam conference call, we have Raghunandan Das Prabhuji. A lot of people are joined because of Prabhuji's presence today, and we are really happy and fortunate to have Prabhuji. And today he will enlighten us on the verse 8:30 from Srimad Bhagavatam. And I'm Prabhuji. I'm really sorry for holding on. Almost 8 to 10 minutes. You've been there on the call, but we just go through the introduction so that way we are connected to each other and also connected to Bhagavatam. So, Prabhuji, can you please take over? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you please give me a co-host privilege?
Yes, sure, Prabhuji. 1 minute. I'll just.
नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यत्य देशतारिणे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8. We are on chapter 8, and today's verse is going to be from verse 30 onwards. Atasidvaruni Devi Kanya Kamalalochana Asura Jagruhustam Vai Harer Anumate Nate. Ata, thereafter, after the appearance of the goddess of fortune. Asit, there was Varuni, Devi, the demigoddess who controls drunkards. Kanya, a young girl. Kamala Lochana, lotus eyed. Asura, the demons. Jagruhu, accepted. Tam, her. Why, indeed, array of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Anumatena, by the order, they, the demons. Translation. Next appeared Varuni, the lotus-eyed goddess who controls drunkards. With the permission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the demons headed by Bali Maharaj took possession of this young girl. Because we are in the section of the Canto 8 of Srimad Bhagavatam that describes the churning of the milk ocean. And when the milk ocean was churned, there were so many difficulties. They were using Mandara mountain as the churning rod, Vasuki, the leader of the serpents, as the churning rope. But still, the milk ocean, even a normal ocean, is not shallow. It's very deep. And what to speak of milk ocean? So the mountain, the churning rod, the mountain that was being used as a churning rod was not getting positioned properly, and it was dropping into the ocean. All these difficulties were there. And the Supreme Lord mercifully appeared. So what he did, he took a form of a tortoise, Kurmavatara, and then he went deep into the milk ocean and he held the mountain on his back. And then not only that, he appeared on top of the mountain and he sat there and he held the top of the mountain with his hand, so that both at the top and the bottom there was support. And now the demons and the asuras could use the Vasuki as the churning rope, and they could turn the Mandara mountain this way and that way and start churning the milk ocean. So once the milk ocean was being churned now properly, all wonderful things came out immediately? No, it did not. The first thing that came out was the Alhala poison. It's not a normal poison. It was like destroying the entire universe. So it was that corrosive and that powerful a poison. So immediately they ran to Vishnu. Vishnu said, like, go and pray to Lord Shiva. He is the one who can save you from this poison. So then there was a set of prayers to Lord Shiva by the demigods. And then Lord Shiva took compassion on everybody in the creation. And he said, okay, I will drink the poison to save everybody, save this universe and save all the living beings in this universe. See, normally we hear Shiva is main role is when this material universe is about to be destroyed. But here in this pastime, we see the other aspect of, because the destroying the material universe is also a big service Lord Shiva does for the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. But we also see here that he is doing the protection job. So he took the poison, and his wife Parvati was sitting right next to him, and she was seeing the poison going inside the throat, the body of Lord Shiva, and because the poison was so powerful and strong and corrosive, his entire neck was becoming blue because of the poison. So immediately she put her hand on the throat of Lord Shiva and squeezed there to hold the poison from going down further. And that's why Shiva is also known as Neela Kanta. Kanta means throat, and Neela is blue. So, blue throated one. And now, after that, so many wonderful things are coming out from the churning of the milk ocean. And Rama Devi, who is the goddess of fortune, also came, and she garlands Vishnu, and because she is the eternal consort of the Supreme Lord, so she chose only him. And then right after goddess of fortune who came, there is a young girl named Varuni. Varuni is the goddess who controls the drunkards. Because anybody who is like addicted to the intoxication of alcohol and other such stuff, they are being controlled by Varuni. So this personality came out. And here it says, with the permission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the demons headed by Bali Maharaj took possession of this young girl, Varuni. Because at the beginning, when the Supreme Lord was giving the suggestion to churn the milk ocean, he said, don't get distracted by so many wonderful things that come from the churning of the milk ocean. Pay attention to the nectar that is going to come. Because that is why I am asking you guys to churn the milk ocean. But these wonderful things are coming. So they are both the demons, but under the demons are being the asuras are being led by Bali Maharaj, and the demigods are being led by Indra. They consult the Supreme Lord and take his permission to see if they can take charge of all these wonderful things coming from the churning. So that is what is happening here. अतो ददेर्मत्यमानात् कश्यपेर्अमृतार्तिभिः उदतिष्ठन् महाराज पुरुष परमाद्भुतः. Translation: O king, thereafter, while the sons of Kashyapa, who are the sons of Kashyapa? Both the Asuras and the Devas, the demons and demigods, they were engaged in churning the ocean of milk. A very wonderful male person appeared. दीर्घपीवरदोर्दण्ड कम्बुग्रीवोर्नुक्षणः श्यामलस्तरुणश्रग्वी सर्वाभरणभूषितः. Translation: He was strongly built. His arms were long, stout and strong. His neck, which was marked with 3 lines, resembled a conch shell. His eyes were reddish, and his complexion was blackish. He was very young. He was garlanded with flowers, and his entire body was fully decorated with various ornaments. So, who is this personality? Let's see. Pitavasa Mahoraska Sumrishta Manikundalaha Snigdha Kunchita Keshanta Subhaga Sima Vikramaha Amrita Purna Kalasam Bibrat Valaya Bhushitaha. Translation: He was dressed in yellow garments and wore brightly polished earrings made of pearls. The tips of his hair were anointed with oil, and his chest was very broad. His body had all good features. He was stout and strong like a lion, and he was decorated with bangles. In his hand, he carried a jug filled to the top with nectar. So, with more of these descriptions, is getting clearer and clearer that the personality that came out of this churning now is one of the incarnations of the Supreme Lord, because he is wearing yellow garments and he has all these very auspicious bodily symptoms and all that. So we will see. Savai Bhagavata Sakshat Vishnor Amsamsa Sambhavaha Dhanvantirir iti Kyata Ayurveda Drig Ijabhag. Translation: this person was Dhanvantari, a plenary portion of Lord Vishnu. He was very conversant with the science of medicine, and as one of the demigods, he was permitted to take a share in sacrifices. And now we have some purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Sri Madhvacharya remarks, Tesham Satya Chalanartam Harir Dhanvantarir Vibhuhu Samartopyasuranam tu Swahastad Amuchat Sudam. Dhanvantari, who was carrying the jug containing nectar, was a plenary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But although he was very strong, the asuras were able to take the jug of nectar from his hands. Okay, so now the person who is that personality that came out is being revealed here. He is none other than an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dhanvantari is his name, and he is the master of Ayurveda, medicines, the science of medicine. Okay, but here there is a word that is being used, plenary portion of Lord Vishnu. And in the purport also, Prabhupada is saying plenary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the word plenary mean? In English, there are similar meanings for this word plenary. It means complete, full. So, what does this plenary incarnation or plenary portion of Lord Vishnu means is, even though this person happens to be an expansion or an incarnation, this personality has all the potencies of the Supreme Lord in full, complete. That it doesn't mean that he is like carrying only one own specific potency of the Supreme Lord, or some partial potencies of the Supreme Lord. No. This personality is Sakshad Bhagavata, it says, right? Bhagavata Sakshad. So this is directly the Supreme Lord. But who is this personality? This personality is not Lord Krishna. This personality is similar to Lord Krishna, having all the potencies. That's why the plenary word is being used. So plenary portion or plenary incarnation, it indicate that he is not the um, the actual Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, but he is could be a expansion coming from the expansion, doesn't matter how many different expansions has happened, but this personality is Bhagavat Sakshat, is exactly the Supreme Personality of God. He is directly the Supreme Lord, but he is not the Ishvara Parama. He is not the supreme personality of Godhead, the source of all, everybody. Lord Krishna is not, but he is still the Supreme Lord in a different form. This form is known by the name Dhanvantari. So what Prabhupada is saying, he is Supreme Personality, right? So he has all the potencies also, as we are seeing. And so he's saying he is even though he was very strong, the asuras were able to take the jug of nectar from his hands, because he was carrying a big jar in his hands, and that jar contained the nectar. To obtain that nectar, only the asuras and the demons were churning the milk ocean. So how could the demons overpower the Supreme Lord and take it? Because that's a pastime, because he is enacting a pastime, because there is something more that needs to happen after this. So let's continue to read and see what happens. तं आलोक्यासुरः सर्वे कलशं चामृताभृतं लिप्सन्त सर्ववस्तूनि कलशं तरसाहरन्. Translation: Upon seeing Dhanvantari carrying the jug of nectar, the demons, desiring the jug and its contents, immediately snatched it away by force. नीयमाने सुरैस्तस्मिन् कलशे मृतभाजने विषण्ण मनसो देवा हरिं शरणं आययुः. Translation: When the jug of nectar was carried off by the demons, the demigods were morose. Thus, they sought shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. So, the nectar has been snatched away by the asuras. Both the demigods and the asuras were churning the milk ocean towards this objective. And now, after putting there are so many challenges, and many of them got hurt, maimed, and killed. And the Supreme Lord came and uh, brought them back to life, removed all their injuries, and said, blessed them, saying, continue churning the milk ocean. All these hardships they underwent. What? Towards this objective of getting the nectar. But now, when that objective is coming out of the milk ocean, it got snatched away by the asuras, so the demigods became morose. Does it sound very similar? Have we experienced something like this in our life? We strive hard towards some objective, but when we are very close to achieving the goal or the objective, something unexpected happens and we don't get the desired results of all the hard work that we have put in so far. How do we feel? We feel dejected, we feel frustrated, we feel very sad. Morose is being used here. So we feel like that. But what do we do in such a situation? When something like that happens, what do we normally do? Is a question that we have to ask ourselves, or we can go back and look at situations like that in our life. When such things happen, what did we do? We feel dejected, we feel all those things, but do we just go into that dejection phase and continue being dejected and being depressed? Some people do. They cannot come out of that depression, that dejection, and they consider themselves a failure. But what do the demigods do here? They felt morose, they felt dejected, they felt disappointed, they felt sad, but they took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They took shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is a very good lesson for each one of us. Whenever there is a problem, we see the Pandavas, they right from when they were teenagers, I would say, right from that point, Duryodhan was after them. He was so envious and jealous. And he was like looking to spite them, put them down, kill them in various different ways. Like he is basically like attempting multiple attempts at murder. Duryodhan was performing to get rid of the Pandavas. So many, and then finally they get a kingdom that is rightfully due to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Duryodhan cheats them out from that kingdom and drives them away. They insults and humiliates them in the Kuru assembly, including Draupadi. So all this, but when all this was happening, what was the mood of the Pandavas? They always took shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Okay, then let's take a couple of examples from the Mahabharata, the Kurukshetra battle, right? The war. During the war, they always took shelter of Krishna. They always consulted and followed his guidance. Whatever Lord Krishna was asking them to do, they were without hesitation, they were doing. Sometimes Lord Krishna was asking them to lie. Yudhishthira Maharaj never lied, but he tells Yudhishthira Maharaj to lie about Ashwatthama so that Drona can be vanquished. So Yudhishthira Maharaj utters that lie in such a way that is neither a truth nor a lie. So all these things happen. And then finally, the war has almost come to an end, and Ashwatthama is the only one that is remaining. So he sees his friend has been uh, injured and is about to die. So Ashwatthama thinks that, oh, I'm doing a good deed for my dear friend Duryodhan. So he kills the five sons of Draupadi when they were sleeping. They were not even participating in the war. They were just there and they were sleeping in the tent. In the middle of the night, he goes and kills them. So Arjuna and Krishna, they are chasing after Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama lets loose Brahmastra. Arjuna knows everything. He knows about Brahmastra, everything, but the first thing he does is take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Whether we know what to do or whether we do not know what to do in such a situation, the instruction is very clear that we have to take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So, what does it mean? In our situation, when we are going through something like this, what does taking shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna mean? It means taking shelter of the guidance and instructions of Lord Krishna or Lord Krishna's representatives. That's a very important thing for us. Who are Lord Krishna's representatives? It could be our Guru, it could be other senior devotees that are guiding us, mentoring us in this path of Krishna consciousness. So, and then they are not going to speak or give guidance anything that is outside what Krishna or the scriptures have given. So, there are lots of instructions and guidance the Supreme Lord Krishna has given in Bhagavad Gita. And there are lots and lots of instructions that we see in Srimad Bhagavatam. All these elevated, exalted devotees of the Supreme Lord, Arjuna, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Kunti Maharani, Bhishma, Vidura, Uddhava, and Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and so many, like 18,000 verses, 12 cantos, Srimad Bhagavatam. All these personalities are there. They are giving us perspectives to understand the Supreme Lord, to know the nature of the Supreme Lord, to know the various qualities of the Supreme Lord. So, and acharyas and gurus and all the devotees, they are following in the footsteps, taking guidance from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and the explanations of our acharyas. So, that is what we should take shelter of. Immediately, our mind should go to remembering the Supreme Lord. Manmana bhavamat bhakto. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, Manmana bhavamat bhakto. There are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita, divided into 6 chapters each, right? 3 sections. First 6 chapters, middle 6 chapters, and the last 6 chapters. But there are so many. Bhakti is the essence that Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita. And we have 8 chapters in the beginning, 8 chapters in the end, and that leaves in the middle chapters 9 and 10. Those are the most essential sections of Bhagavad Gita, chapters 9 and chapter 10, because it's right bang in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, flanked by 8 chapters in the front, 8 chapters in the later. So middle two chapters, that is containing the core essence of the entire Bhagavad Gita. And this verse, Manmana Bhavamat Bhakto in chapter 9, it is the essence of all the essences of Bhagavad Gita. Always remember me. So whenever we find ourselves, whether if something nice is happening, something unexpectedly nice happens, the first our thought should go to Lord Krishna. Thank you. Thank you for blessing me with this. When what we are expecting to happen didn't happen, like this situation here, the demigods immediately they felt morose, but their thought immediately turned to taking shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Hari. So we can learn from that. So immediately when something unexpected happens, something bad happens, immediately our thought should go towards Lord Krishna. Manmana bhavamat bhakto. Then he says, Madhyajimam namaskuru. So they offer obeisances to me, they offer prayers to me. So we can, and we can take Bhagavad Gita and read. Yeah, it could be any verse, any page, doesn't matter. We can read, or we can chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to fix our consciousness on Krishna. So immediately it calms us. It helps us think clearly. And then we can consult with other devotees and say, okay, I find myself in such a situation. What is the way forward? What should I be doing? What? So we can seek. So taking shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna means we have to seek guidance. Who is at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna? Only the devotees are there. So that means we have to take shelter of the devotees of Lord Krishna. It doesn't mean everybody. We should have at least one person in our life who we trust, who can be our mentor and guide. And then we can say, okay, this is what should I be doing? How should I proceed? Or how should I come out of this morose situation? So that is very important for us to do. इति तद्धनियम् आलोक्य भगवान् भृत्य कामकृत् मा किद्यत मितोर्तं वा साधयिष्ये स्वमायया. Translation: When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always desires to fulfill the ambitions of his devotees, saw that the demigods were morose, he said to them, do not be aggrieved. By my own energy, I shall bewilder the demons by creating a quarrel among them. In this way, I shall fulfill your desire to have the nectar. So, what does this verse say? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, what is his main desire? He always desires to fulfill the ambitions or desires of his devotees. He is our eternal well-wisher. Suhrutam sarva bhutanam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita when he is describing about his nature, his quality. Suhrutam sarva bhutanam. Not only for selected human beings or no, all human beings, all living beings. Sarva bhutanam. Suhrutam. He is a well-wisher. So he is the eternal well-wisher of all the living beings because he is the supreme father of all the living beings in the entire creation. So what is his desire? He always wants to fulfill the aspirations, ambitions, desires of his devotees. So that is the nature of the, he is so loving, so kind, so compassionate. So he saw that kind, compassionate, loving, merciful Supreme Lord saw the demigods were very morose. So he said to them to encourage them, do not be aggrieved. Swamayaya, by my own energy, by my own potencies, I shall bewilder the demons. Because they are the ones who have snatched the nectar and they are running away to consume it themselves. So what I am going to do? I am going to bewilder them by my own potency and by creating a quarrel among them. And in that confusion, I will take that nectar jar away from them, and I will give it to you, demigods. So I shall fulfill your desire to have the nectar. Don't worry. See the pastime, see my Leela that's going to unfold. मिथक्कलीरभूतेषां तदर्थे तर्षचेतसाम् अहं पूर्वं न त्वम् इति प्रभो. Translation: O king, a quarrel then arose among the demons over who would get the nectar first. Each of them said, "You cannot drink it first. I must drink it first. Me first, not you." Purport: This is the symptom of demons. The first concern of a non devotee is how to enjoy his personal sense gratification at once, whereas the devotee's first concern is to satisfy the Lord. This is the distinction between the non devotee and the devotee. In this material world, since most people are non devotees, they regularly compete, fight, disagree, and war among themselves. For everyone wants to enjoy and satisfy his own senses. Therefore, unless such demons become Krishna conscious and are trained to satisfy the senses of the Lord, there can be no question of peace in human society or any society, even that of the demigods. The demigods and devotees, however, always surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus the Lord is always anxious to satisfy their ambitions. While the demons fight to satisfy their own senses, devotees engage in devotional service to satisfy the senses of the Lord. The members of the Krishna consciousness movement must be alert in regard to this point, and then their preaching of the Krishna consciousness movement will be successful. What a wonderful message in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Me first, not you. Not only competing with others, but it's only for me, me first. That is a very demoniac consciousness, is what is being said in the verse and also being spotlighted in the purport. This is the symptom of demons, Prabhupada says. What does a non-devotee do? It's about me, my personal sense gratification. To achieve that, I am willing to go to any extent. We see that in the world around us. There are some people like that. They trample on others. They go to even many illegal ways of accumulating wealth so that they think that so that they can have more sense gratification. But a devotee, the devotee's consciousness is totally different, 180 degrees opposite, day and night difference between a demoniac mentality and a devotee mentality. What does the devotee think? My first priority, topmost priority is always to satisfy the Lord. His happiness, His enjoyment, His pleasure. The Lord's pleasure, enjoyment, and happiness is my main priority for doing anything, any activity. But what do the non-devotees do? They compete, they fight, they disagree and war among themselves. Why? Because everyone wants to enjoy and satisfy his own senses. So each living being is there. Each one of us are given a material body, and the material body comes with senses. So what I am trying to do, it's about only me. So I am putting myself in the center of existence. And the other person is putting himself or herself as the center. And like that, all these different living beings are there. In each one of them is saying, I am at the center. Me first, not you. Me first, not you. I am at the center. It's about me and my sense gratification, my enjoyment. So to illustrate this point, Prabhupada one time when he was having a morning walk when he goes on a morning walk, few devotees used to join him every day during his walking session. So while walking, Prabhupada will pose questions to his devotees to think and expand their understanding and knowledge. So he went to while they were walking one day, they saw a lake, a small pond. So he took a small pebble and dropped it into the pond. And see, what do you see? Everybody was saying the pebble was going and hitting the surface of the water on the lake, and it was creating ripple. So what is this? What is a big deal about this? What is Prabhupada trying to point out here? Was the question in the mind of the devotees. So he says, I put a stone, and the stone, when the stone touched the surface of the water, that was the center of the point of contact, and it sent ripples out. If each one of you start putting the pebbles, each one of you will create your own point, is a central point, and each when the pebble touches the water, it will send out ripples and waves. And what happens when everybody is putting their pebbles like that? Each one of them is having their own center, and then from that center point, the ripples, the waves start going out, and each one of you are dropping the pebbles, and the waves start colliding with one another. That is what material existence looks like. Each human being is saying, oh, I am at the center. It is only about me, my enjoyment, my pleasure, and I am doing my activities. And like that, each person is thinking and doing. So all our activities are colliding with one another. Then Prabhupada said a solution. What? If everybody starts putting the pebble in that same center, there is no conflicting center of points and conflicting waves and ripples colliding with each other. Rather, it is going to amplify the waves that are coming because everybody is putting it in the same center. So it keeps amplifying that, it's strengthening that waves and ripples. So each one of us are saying, I am at the center, I am at the center, I am at the center. So what we should do is we should take ourselves away from the center, and each one of us should have a common center. And that common center is Krishna. That is a point that Prabhupada was trying to illustrate with that pebble in the pond example. So we all have to keep Krishna in the center. What does keeping Krishna in the center mean? It's the same concept, right? It's not about me, my enjoyment, my pleasure, all those things. It's about Krishna, Krishna's pleasure. Krishna should be satisfied. Krishna should have enjoyment. My activities are geared only towards that. If I just put myself at the center, and all the other persons are also trying to put themselves at the center, it's creating this competition, conflict. That's what Prabhupada says, right? They regularly compete, fight, disagree, and war among themselves. So that's why Prabhupada finally it says we must be alert in regard to this point. So any activity, particularly when we are trying to practice bhakti and we are trying to be a devotee, or we claim ourselves to be a devotee, I should not be in the center. It's not about me. Even when I am doing bhakti activities, if it's about me, I'm looking for, oh, am I getting recognition? Am I getting appreciation for my bhakti activities? Oh, Mataji, you made such a wonderful garland. Nobody makes garland like you. Yeah, if they give that appreciation, we'll say thank you and pass it on to Guru and Krishna. But if we are looking for that appreciation and we are doing bhakti activity for that purpose, then even while engaged in bhakti activity, we are depriving ourselves of the main objective. So we have to be very careful. Even when we are trying to do bhakti activities, we have to be very clear. What is the intention of doing a bhakti activity? It is being done for Krishna or Rama. So it's the Supreme Lord. It is done for the Supreme Lord. So with that intention, we should perform the devotional activity. And similarly, when we are doing other activity, my job and everything, why am I working? Why am I earning money? So that I can, because to live, exist in this world, we need some money, our basic needs. So once that is taken care of, what am I doing with the rest of my time, energy, and money? I have to serve Krishna and Krishna's devotees. So that is the conception. देव स्वं भागम अर्हन्ति ये तुल्यायास हेतवः सत्र याग इवैतस्मिन् एष धर्म सनातनः इति स्वान् प्रत्यषेधान् वै दैतेय जातमत्सरा दुर्बला प्रबलान् राजन् गृहीत कलसान् मुहुः. Some of the demons said, all the demigods have taken part in churning the ocean of milk. Now, as everyone has an equal right to partake in any public sacrifice, according to the eternal religious system, it is befitting that the demigods now have a share of the nectar. O king, in this way, the weaker demons forbade the stronger demons to take the nectar. See, the confusion that the Supreme Lord said he will cause. I will bewilder the demons so that they will start arguing and fighting among themselves. So that is unfolding now. Purport: desiring to take the nectar, those among the demons who were less strong spoke in favor of the demigods. The weaker Daityas naturally pleaded on behalf of the demigods to stop the stronger Daityas from drinking the nectar without sharing it. In this way, disagreement and trouble arose as they forbade one another to drink the nectar. So next section is like all the final 6 verses are given together, and that concludes the chapter. So we'll just read that verse and the translation, and then we can have some discussion today. Okay, the verses. एतस्मिन्नन्तरे विष्णुः सर्वोपायविधीश्वरः योषिद्रूपम् अनिर्देश्यं ददार परमाद्भुतं प्रेक्षणीयोत्पलश्यामं सर्वावयवसुन्दरं समानकर्णाभरणं सुखपोलोन्नदासनं नवयौवननिर्वृत्तस्तनभारकृशोदरं मुखमोदानु रक्ताली जङ्कारोद्विग्नलोचनं बिभ्रत्सुकेशभारेण मालामुत्फुल्लमल्लिकां सुग्रीवकण्ठाभरणं सुभुजाङ्गदभूषितं विरजाम्बरसंवीतनितम्बद्वीपशोभया काञ्च्या प्रविलसद्वल्गु चलच्चरणनूपुरं सव्रीडस्मितविक्षिप्त भ्रूविलासावलोकनै दैत्ययूतपचेतसु कामम् उद्दीपयन्मुहुः. That was like almost 6 verses, right? Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, who can counteract any unfavorable situation, then assumed the form of an extremely beautiful woman. This incarnation as a woman, Mohini Murti, was most pleasing to the mind. Her complexion resembled in color a newly grown blackish lotus, and every part of her body was beautifully situated. Her ears were equally decorated with earrings, her cheeks were very beautiful, her nose was raised, and her face full of youthful luster. Her large breasts made her waist seem very thin. Attracted by the aroma of her face and body, bumblebees hummed around her, and thus her eyes were restless. Her hair, which was extremely beautiful, was garlanded with mallika flowers. Her attractively constructed neck was decorated with a necklace and other ornaments. Her arms were decorated with bangles. Her body was covered with a clean sari, and her breasts seemed like islands in an ocean of beauty. Her legs were decorated with ankle bells. Because of the movements of her eyebrows as she smiled with shyness and glanced over the demons, all the demons were saturated with lusty desires, and every one of them desired to possess her. Purport: because of the Supreme Lord's assuming the form of a beautiful woman to arouse the lusty desires of the demons, a description of her complete beauty is given here. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 8th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Churning of the Milk Ocean. How beautiful, because the Supreme Lord has infinite, unlimited opulences, potencies, shaktis, energies, and he is known for his incredible beauty. People think that, oh, only when he comes in the form of Rama, Krishna, Narayana, he looks beautiful. No. We read in Srimad Bhagavatam, he appeared as in a boar form, right, as Varaha. Even in that form, he was like effulgent and beautifully. Everybody, even all the yogis and siddhas in the topmost planets, including Lord Brahma, everybody who looked at that wonderful form of boar, Varaha, everybody was stunned. Oh, this could be nobody else except the Supreme Lord. Everybody came to that conclusion because of he was in a form of a pig, but it's transcendental to the Supreme Lord. Whatever form he takes is so beautiful. And in this pastime of churning the milk ocean, he took the form of a tortoise. Can anybody describe tortoise as very beautiful, handsome looking? No. Yeah, it looks good, but nobody says like, oh, so beautiful, oh, so cute. So no, nobody goes gaga over a tortoise. But when the Supreme Lord assumed the form of a tortoise, it was stunningly beautiful because he is transcendental. He is like his form is like whether he comes as a pig or he comes in the form of a fish or he comes in the form of a tortoise, doesn't matter. Now that Supreme Lord, we just read a few verses back, he came in the form of Dhanvantari. Even there were descriptions of that form. He was wearing yellow garments. He had 3 lines of in his neck region, broad chest, and wow, what a beautiful form it was. And now he is taking a specific form of a beautiful woman just to bewilder the asuras, to agitate their lusty desires. And that's why all these 6 verses is describing how beautiful that form of the Supreme Lord was. He is not coming in the form of a male, he is taking the form of a female. And so beautiful. And when the demons who were like now arguing and fighting about, "Oh, it's me, it's only for me, the nectar is for me," all those things, when they saw this beautiful lady, and that beautiful lady was giving glances even at them, that's it, done. These asuras forgot about the nectar, and their mind was like calm. Mind and senses were completely captivated by this beautiful Mohini Murti form of the Supreme Lord. So the next chapter we will see what happens when now they forget the nectar and they start fighting with each other about who is going to get this beautiful lady. So that is how the Supreme Lord is bewildering the asuras to take the nectar and give it to the demigods. So that is the Leela that is unfolding there. So we'll stop here and see if there is any sharing, discussions, comments, questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Madan Pranam to you. Shubhabhat ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for, explaining all these verses so nicely. We read them yesterday, but, the explanation was always needed. And I really like the one point that you mentioned is that in whatever bewildered situation one is, one has to depend on Krishna only. And also, previously, I don't know whether you gave the class that time, but it was mentioned that when the mouth of the asuras was given to the demigods and the tail was with the demons, then that time they wanted the mouth. So Krishna is always in the beginning taking care of his devotees. And then asuras probably, correct me Prabhuji, they always think that they are, that jo dusre ko mila hai, that is good. you know Grass is green on the other side, and they wanted the mouth. When they came towards the mouth side, and then they again suffered. So basically, it's all about their sense gratificatory life, right? And in that they're living, and there's no connection of Krishna there. So, it wasn't it similar to the snake story also like that? I mean, like and how nice it is that we feel very content at heart that Krishna is he knows the mentality of the demoniac. So similarly, in the material world today, we are staying, there are a lot of people we come across, who have like a very not a good mentality. And we know that we don't want to get into that, those association and all that. We know Krishna will take care, because he is also in their heart, seeing how impure the heart is. So just wanted to mention this point. The realization is coming from your class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much once again. I don't have a specific question, but if anybody has any question, comments, they can please go ahead and ask Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
And thank you for mentioning that. Like what you mentioned about was using Vasuki as the rope to churn the over. Mandara mountain was the churning rod, and they are going to churn. And so, um, who is going to take the head portion of the Vasuki and who is going to take the tail portion? Tail people think, oh, it's very inferior, so I don't want to go to that inferior portion. Oh, I am superior, I am the best, and I want to be at the head of the Vasuki. But so the demigods were initially at the head portion, and Asura said, no, 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 I'm not going to take the tail portion. And they said, like, if this churning has to continue, we will be at the head portion. So uh, Ajita, who was another incarnation of the Supreme Lord who was leading the demigods, said, okay, let's go and take the tail. But what happens? Where it's a huge snake. Vasuki is a huge snake, and he is the head of the all the serpents and snakes and also on. So, and he is a live person, and when the he is getting squeezed around the mountain, and he is getting all these cuts because it's not a smooth mountain, right? So he is getting all these abrasions, and he is getting pulled tight also, right? So when that happens, from the mouth of the Vasuki, fire comes and it burns and affects the asuras, and they say, oh, what a mistake, we fought for getting the head portion of Vasuki, and now we have no other choice but to continue and suffer the fire that is coming from the mouth of Vasuki. So all that happened in this section when they were about to start churning the milk ocean. So just an explanation of that incident that Rupini Padma Mataji was saying, so that others on the call who might not be aware of that can get that explanation.
Also, Prabhuji, like you had mentioned in your last class when you were reading these verses, that I think Krishna told the demigods, or maybe some other speaker spoke that you do as I say. Do not just listen to me. That is all. You just listen to me, and even if it is bad for you or good for you, but I will take care. So
Yeah. Yeah, because
yeah.
that's what that obedience is the symptom of the demigods.
Hmm.
Whether they are going through good patches in their life or rough patches in their life, they are obedient followers of the instructions of the Supreme Lord. That's why they are called suras or devas or demigods. And opposite of a sura is asura. So the asura, the demoniac mentality is, oh, why should I listen to others? And who is Vishnu? Oh, who is Supreme Lord? I don't care. I will just do as I please. That is the demoniac mentality. That is why the opposite of sura is asura.
The Hare Krishna Prabhuji, the example you gave, like, the demons wanted to come to the mouth side. It reminds me sometime, like, while serving in the temple, like, devotees may think, okay, all the services in the temple, like, they are at the transcendental level, whether you clean the restroom or washing the pot or making garland or maybe like serving the deities. But many people might think, oh, if I would be probably on the altar, that will be the best service to the Lord. They are like serving directly to the, maybe I will get more blessings, you know. So can you elaborate on that, like, on this situation?
So your situation that you are thinking, saying is like you in the temple when we are as devotees, we are doing more services. But which point do you want me to focus on?
Like how all these services are at the same level.
Oh, how to see all these services are at the same level. Okay, good. Um, yeah, it's a nice point to meditate on. Any, there is nothing trivial about serving the Supreme Lord because it's a very rare opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. It's not like, okay, only when I'm on the altar, I'm serving the Supreme Lord. If I'm washing the pots in the kitchen, I'm not serving the Supreme Lord. No, that is a very neophyte, um, a beginner kind of a mindset. No, the actual mindset, even if there is some trash on the floor, somewhere in the temple property, I am picking it up and putting it in the dustbin or a trash bin. It is a service directly being rendered to the Supreme Lord because that temple is his property and the grounds of the temple is his property. So even if we are doing some very menial task like that, the Supreme Lord considers it the same. The Supreme Lord sees all these tasks, but we human beings, we have this, oh, this is the topmost service, this is the lowermost service. No, everything that is being done in the for Krishna or if anything connected to Krishna is the same. So as devotees, we have to mature and we should not be stuck in this beginner neophyte stage and then thinking, oh, I only when I'm making garlands for the deities, it's the direct service. Or when I'm on the altar and doing some service, that's the direct. No, any service, even how we speak with one another, how we interact with one another, it has to be in a pleasing way, pleasing to Krishna. That is the purpose. So we might not be there yet now, but at least we can keep that as our goal and say, okay, any service that we do, even my normal interaction with one another, my purpose is it should be for the pleasure of Krishna. It is the pleasure for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. So when we have that mindset, then it becomes very relishable for Krishna. Because the point we are doing bhakti is, by any bhakti activity is, we want Krishna to be pleased. We want to Krishna to accept that. So when we are doing it in this mode with this intention, it is very pleasing to him and say, okay, I like this person. I like what this person is doing and offering. I will accept it.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class, Prabhu. Um, so in this pastime that we are reading right now, we see that Devas and Asuras, they are competing.
and then they are afraid of each other, and there's fear, and then there's conflict. When all this is going on, Prabhu, where are the devotees of the Lord, like sadhus? Where are, like, were sadhus must be there, but not in this conflict, right?
Yeah, they are not interested in all these things.
All these things,
Who's
right? Yeah.
interested? Demigods were interested.
Yeah.
Demigods wanted to get back their strength and all those things because they are in continuous war with the asuras. So that is when they approached Brahma, and Brahma took them to the Supreme Lord and said, "Okay." Supreme Lord gave the advice. Okay, churn the milk ocean, you will get the nectar, and with that nectar, you will become unconquerable.
Mhm.
So they had that desire. So the Supreme Lord is trying to fulfill the desires of the demigods because they are obedient citizens, right? So
Right.
he's saying, okay, I will give you guidance what you need to do. But we have to keep in mind, demigods, even though they are elevated personalities, they they still have material desires. They
Right.
want to still have material enjoyment. Their sense gratification portion is still there. They are not like 100% pure devotees. But there are other personalities in the topmost planetary systems like the yogis, siddhas, and all those in the they are not participating in this. They are just observing this, what's going on.
Mm.
They are spectators. They understand. No, no, I don't want anything material. I have no material enjoyment. I know how it might look like relishable in the beginning, but it turns into poison at the end. So they don't want any. So devotees and all these other yogis and siddhas, they are in that category. But demigods still have material desires and they want sense gratification. That's why the heavenly planets is filled with lots different kinds of sensual pleasures too.
Yeah, and that reminds me of Prabhupada's quote where he says, "Your love for me will be demonstrated by how you cooperate with each other."
Yeah.
And on the other side, we see Asuras and Devtas, they are fighting this conflict. So thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yeah, when there is a material conception of life, material conception of enjoyment, all these things, then there is going to be competition. Oh, I should get more than the other person. Oh, I should be better than the other person. Let me put down that person. We are always in a competition, competing mode. But when we are, there is competition even in the spiritual world with the devotees. But the competition is not about I am the best. I want to be the number one. No, how can I give Krishna more pleasure? There is competition for that. Everybody is trying to compete to give Krishna more pleasure, more enjoyment. So it's not about I should be recognized as better than the others. No, it's not with that mood. So that is the mood that as devotees we are required to cultivate.
Yeah, and in any setup, Prabhu, like in any corporation or wherever we are, these insecurities, like
Yeah.
someone that's the bigger cause of all the conflicts and problems, right?
Yeah, and the cause of insecurity and the cause of if fear, the cause of anxiety, all these things is our material conception. We are identifying with material stuff. We are engaged in material stuff. We are trying to derive pleasure and happiness from material activities. So when we do all these things, the 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 symptoms of all this is we have this insecurity, we have this fear, we have this anxiety. But when we talked about taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord today in the verses and purport, when we take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, all these insecurity feelings of insecurity is gone, fear is gone, anxiety is gone. Rather we become fearless. That's why one of the um, names of Krishna is Abhay Charan. Abhay Charan means one whose lotus feet we get abhaya, fearlessness.
Right. And Prabhu, like one last thing, could you please shed some light on how should, like, we are neophytes, we don't have that understanding of spiritual, like we don't have that spiritual maturity, but when we hear someone blaspheming senior devotees or even Prabhupada or even ISKCON, how should our, what should be our behavior to that?
If there is some kind of at least a knowing relationship with that other person, we can go and say what the way you are speaking or what you are saying is not correct. But if we don't have that kind of relationship to approach and speak with that person, we can bring it to the concerned authorities. We might know, if we happen to know who that person's spiritual mentor is, or who that person's spiritual guru is, or if we do not know that, we know, yeah, we are existing in this temple congregation, and there are temple president and other senior devotees in the congregation, so we can go and address our concerns about this particular devotee and say, okay, I noticed this. So I'm not just criticizing or complaining about that devotee, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention so that appropriate steps can be taken to help that devotee and also help maintain that mood of devotion within this community or congregation. So we can do it in that service mode. So even when we are doing something like this, it has to be in the mode of service to uplift or benefit that person and the congregation community. It should not be in the mode of just criticizing or complaining.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Because in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, almost towards the end, I think it's 17th chapter, if I recall correctly, Parikshit Maharaj is seeing the personality of Kali torturing a bull and a cow. So that full section, it's explained like that bull is none other than the personality of Dharma, and that cow is the personality of Mother Earth. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking the bull, who did this to you? The bull doesn't give a direct answer. It doesn't point the finger at the personality of Kali. Rather, it says it could be this, it could be that, it could be so. So indirectly, it also says it's the hand of the Supreme Lord behind all these things. So hearing that, Parikshit Maharaj is very pleased. You definitely are the personality of Dharma because you are not finger pointing, even when it is clear. You are not saying, oh, you did this, oh, you said that, oh, he did this, she did this. You did not do all those things, even though it's the truth. So, because Parikshit Maharaj says, the person who is doing something wrong is going to get the reactions for that, but a person who is going to finger point and keep thinking about it, keep talking about it, is also going to get the similar reaction like the person who did that wrongful act. So you know that, so you did not point fingers at the personality of Kali or point this or the because of this. No, you did not. So it's a lesson for us. Even when we are seeing something wrong, incorrect happening in front of us, yeah, we can bring it to the attention of the concerned authorities and then move on from that rather than dwelling on that and we keep repeating the same thing. Whatever the other person did, that reaction, we are also going to get it. So we have to be very thoughtful, very careful, and do the right thing in the right way.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That was very helpful. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for the wonderful class, giving us such nectar of understanding of all these pastimes. Prabhuji, my question is this Amrit
that Dhanvantari got, it is supposed to give immortality. And we know in the material world, there's no immortality. Everybody has to die. So is this immortality just to extend their lifespan and give them back the opulence that they lost
Yeah,
before?
it gives them the strength. It gives them the uh, invincibility when they are at war with the asuras, and their lifespan, as you said, is expanded. So if a person is going to live for like several thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, it almost looks like immortality. But eventually they also have to die at some point of time, but they are not going to get uh, death when they are warring with asuras. They are not going to get that much. Their invincibility in the war is increased, and their lifespan is also increased. That was the purpose of the nectar.
Thank you, Prabhuji. One more question is, we know that, Matajis or like females, they they get attracted to Krishna in a conjugal way, and we know that is very pure. No material lust is there in the gopis or any of his pure devotees. But we know Kubja,
Mm-hmm.
who was like looking at
Hunchback.
Krishna in
Mm-hmm.
yes, Trivikra, and she was just she had material lust, and I know she was Shurpanaka in the previous life, and she was lusting over Lord Ram, etc. And we know that when the Lord came, he still gave his mercy because she gave some ointment to Krishna and Balramji when they came to Mathura. So it looks like there is that pacification of these lusty desires that females can get from Krishna. So is Mohini Murti a similar um, no, avatar to pacify the lusty desires of males? Because later we find that Lord Shiva gets bewildered, and then that's not something that's not mentioned in Bhagavatam, but in South India there is Ayyappa, and it's said that the union of Shiva and Mohini has the son Ayyappa, and he's considered to be a demigod, and there is Harihara Putra, and then there is worship of that. So, should we see Mohini Murti as like a pacification for these male lusty desires?
No, not necessarily. This specific form of Mohini Murti was taken by the Supreme Lord just to bewilder the asuras and just increase their lusty desires, so that their attention gets diverted away from the nectar. The Kubja pastime that you mentioned, uh, what happens right after? She was like a hunchback, and she was like disfigured and not at all looking beautiful, that kind of a lady. But she, just out of love, she offers the garland to Krishna. So in reciprocation, Krishna rectifies her hunchback thing, and he also turns her into a very beautiful woman. So when she gets that, she feels even more love, but this love is like tinged with lust for that thing. She's, I want to enjoy with you. So Krishna says, don't worry, I will come to your home. So he comes in the night to her home. But when he comes, he removes the lusty desire that is in her heart, and she gets completely pure. So that's what the Supreme Lord does always. When somebody does something, even a small thing towards Krishna, just selflessly for Krishna, Krishna reciprocates and uplifts them and removes all their material contamination. Putana came to only kill the baby Krishna. So she smeared her body with very deadly poison, and she wanted to breastfeed the baby and kill the baby in the process. But Krishna said, "Okay, you you acted like my mother by giving milk, but the intention of giving milk was to just kill." But Krishna did put all that aside and said, "You came and gave me milk like a mother. I once she got the Putana got killed. He took her and gave her the position of mother in Goloka Vrindavan. So he removes all the contaminations provided we do a small thing in service. Kubja did that. She offered the garland. And Putana gave a breast milk like a mother. But in the case of all the others who are with lusty desires, if they try to do something, one small, even it might be like a negligible thing to please Krishna or to serve Krishna, then Krishna will jump in and say, okay, I will ignore all the other bad things and I will remove all the bad lusty desires and all that stuff, and I will uplift. But in the case of Asuras, they did not do anything like that. They just were, oh, I'm attracted to this most beautiful woman. Oh, she's for me. I want to enjoy with her. And then they did not get her. And they also lost whatever they had.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Actually, the Asuras, yesterday we just briefly read the chapter. They, even though they were lusty, they took all the instructions from Mohini because just to make sure she is in favor of them. They sat in a line. They didn't create any commotion, and even they watched Mohini Murthy give all the amrit to the demigods, and they didn't revolt. So kind of like the Lord kind of
Yeah,
put them
indirectly,
there.
indirectly made them obedient. They were not voluntarily doing
Yes,
it.
yes,
So
yes.
indirectly, he made them
Yes.
obedient because
Mm.
they were under the spell of their lust. They were hankering after that beauty of Mohini Murthy. But if they had just said, oh, just to please the Supreme Lord, we will share with the demigods, both of them could have got it. Both the Asuras and the demigods could have gotten it, but they were not. And now, even their obedience now is not about wanting to please the Supreme Lord, right? By their obedience was because of their lust. I want to enjoy this beautiful lady, and for that purpose, I will agree to whatever she is asking me to do or say.
Mm.
It was with a selfish interest.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare
Okay, looks
Hari-
like everybody is satisfied.
Anybody else has question, comments for Prabhuji? Prabhuji, I was also, when Manidhar Prabhu was asking his question about the seva, whether you clean the toilet or, bathroom or sweep or do pujari seva, everything is same, except by the Lord. I was remembering the story of the Ramayana where the squirrel was doing its level best, picking one sand grain. And so Hanumanji was like, mocking at her. So Lord Ram said that, in her capacity, in whatever capacity, actually, in any of the temples, we can serve, whether we are, there was one person who came and put, I think, a tissue box, in a bathroom. He was like a half drunkard or something. And Prabhupada said there, his spiritual life has started.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these temples are so like, they're spiritual grounds where, anything done is good, and we have to do it in our capacity, whatever we can do, however much we can do. So jitni shakti, utni bhakti. I mean, if we go beyond also, then we'll be forcing ourselves. So that will not be good. So I was just thinking in those terms. That's how I understand this concept of every seva is equal, through Lord Ram's and squirrel's example. Is that right way to understand, Prabhuji?
Yeah, it's one in one perspective, yes, but there is more to that, right? Not only the Ramayana pastime is talking about the amount of service a person is doing. Oh, I am doing more than you, so I am a better devotee. I am a great devotee. But in the eyes of the Supreme Lord, I have only a tiny capacity and I am doing it to the fullest extent is the same as a big Vanara doing a huge thing, because that big Vanara is doing according to his or her capacity. So, so the lesson that we can learn from that pastime is
Hmm.
how much am I holding back?
Hmm.
Oh, just because I'm doing more doesn't mean that I'm great, but I have potential to do even more than that, and I'm holding back, or so every person they have to come to the stage of doing 100% of their capacity. So that is one conception. Oh, I am doing 20 different services, I'm super duper best. No, the other person might be just doing one single service, but they might be doing it so perfectly and full to the fullest capacity. Krishna is pleased. Krishna so the acharya say, right, Krishna doesn't look what we are giving or doing for him. Krishna is paying attention to what we are holding back from him.
Yes, Prabhuji, you're absolutely right. And also, I think this question comes to most of our mind is because, we have seen this system of like caste system in India, where the Shudras or like people who were the sweepers, they were considered like, I mean, they should not come inside the house and they can only clean the bathroom, which used to be outside, and they go. But of course, Brahmanas who are doing the seva, they will not allow, I mean, it's like, they won't even in the sense that differentiation we have seen the caste system. But when we come to Krishna consciousness, it's like, why I mentioned this is one of the brahmachari came from Vrindavan to our temple in Orlando. And that time, there was happened to be that all sevas were done, but there was a bathroom cleaning seva. So he says, I've never done this in India, I've always done that. So then devotee says, we do everything, like, whichever seva you can get, you have to do. So he was very surprised because he was coming from a background where, certain other set of people do. So then the same thing was explained to him that any seva is accepted. So then he was like, he learned that, and then he picked up the seva because that time there was no pujari seva needed. And then later on, some other person did the bathroom seva of cleaning and all. But like in the sense that we as Indians have that distinction because we've seen that, कि वो servant hai, ye hai. Like we've seen all this in India. So sometimes it's hard for us to understand. But it's so nice. Everything is Krishna conscious is nice, and all the seva are accepted. And this actually is a point where it encourages us that, even if you're going and plucking tulsi, manjaris, or we're doing little taking out the weeds or outside skirt, we're doing anything. And one person in the pujari room might be like, he's come, he's taken a bath and he's doing his mantras and he's chanting and everything. But then Krishna there in the temple is accepting everyone's seva. So that's very encouraging because there could be some people who are not initiated or Brahman initiated and they cannot be at that place, but they can do other seva. Like some of the even Srila Prabhupada would encourage a lot of people, who are, he could see pride in them, that go and do the washing the dishes in the kitchen. And the kitchen dishes are so the kitchen I like, I just want to appreciate the ISKCON kitchens are so pure. I mean, it's like separately everything is cooked there and nobody's eating in the kitchen. No, like wo jhuta bartan, that doesn't come in the kitchen. So much of purity is maintained that, the dishes also we are doing, it's not like we are doing dishes which are eaten and the other cooked dishes together, like normally it is there in the household situation. So one can joyfully do any seva, because that cleanliness, that Vedic culture is maintained. So I really appreciate that in the ISKCON temples. When I go there, I feel wow, like it's only cooking dishes, and so nice. You feel like doing seva. Just wanted to mention that and appreciate what Srila Prabhupada has given us.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
even when we are seeing all these different services, even like cleaning the bathroom, toilet, or cooking for the day, we don't say like, oh, I am a Brahman initiated, so I will not go and do that. But at the same time, the distinction is kept in terms of purity and cleanliness. So if I have gone and done a seva in the toilet, cleaning and mopping there, before doing anything else, I will take a bath and clean myself, so that, and put on fresh clothes, and then I can do other seva, or I just go home and I'm done for the day. I will not do any other service in that uh, temple that needs cleanliness and purity. So that distinction is always kept. Yeah, as devotees, we jump in and do various different services, including cleaning the toilet, but at the same time, after cleaning the toilet, we just don't step into the kitchen to help in the cooking, or we don't step onto the altar. So we have that distinction in place clearly. That's the cleanliness and purity aspect of things.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And just one thought was coming to me. I can share in this forum. Yesterday, when we were reading, we read this chapter 9 actually, and in that it mentioned that the sannyasis, the clothing of sannyasi does not have stitching. So it impures the cloth. So it's amazing. I mean, I'm like, the level of how things are in this Vedic culture.
Yeah.
That's why we see sannyasi, they wear like Matajis wear sari, similar, but then they wear dhotis, but then it's not stitched anywhere. But Bhagavatam was explaining this, and I was just wondering that this is also like, I never even, my thought also didn't go there, that they don't wear anything, they have to wear everything like where there's no stitching also involved. So just it's mind pondering. The thoughts in the Bhagavatam is just, some of them, you can't visualize in this world. Yeah, just wanted to share that among the devotees. Yeah, so thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the question answers, and they were wonderful question answers today. It's really worth and also we broadcast this on Everyday Harinam, so anybody wants to hear a certain part, only the question answer session or only the class, they can go. We have shared on the Everyday Chant, Everyday Harinam group, and they can go and reflect back and learn that.
Yeah. So thank you. And so I just shared and answered based on my understanding. So if there is anything that I have stated incorrectly, so I just seek the forgiveness of all the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhuji, everything was like perfect class, perfect question answers, and something to reflect on. And we don't have a Bhagavatam class on Saturday, Sundays, Bhagavad Gita. We do, because it's like, again, we will meet everybody on Monday with the Bhagavatam class, whoever can join. So we can pay our obeisances to all the devotees on the call through our prayers. Yeah, Vancha Kalpatrubhascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha.
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
Jai.
Jai.
प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
His Grace Raghunandan Prabhu ji ki jai.
Jai.
All assembled devotees ki jai.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhu.
Thank you very much.
Please join us again for chanting from 5 to 7 in the morning tomorrow, and for the Bhagavad Gita class on Saturday, Sunday. Hare Krishna. Have a nice weekend. Hare Bol.